Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Right. Good morning. Just check out. Okay. So wondering if I left the door open. Okay. Well, we're substantially lower today. I can already see that because we were back to 070. Looks like we made most of that move after I left yesterday. So my read when I left was correct. E-mini kind of recovered. Nothing amazing. But they did go. And then Bitcoin just got killed. You can't actually see the place where it happened. Where's Okay, but it still didn't quite beat out what happened on the 24th. Still pretty bad. Pretty bad for the Bitcoin. Okay, well, let's pull out the links. To myself. Where's Discord? There you are. And this one. Okay. Well, we got news at 8:30 Eastern Time. Oh, here it is. And we got a couple of big numbers, right? We got core PCE, personal spending, and personal income. Should be important numbers to look at. Can make some decisions after that. If that doesn't get us moving, I'm not so sure we take a trade today because we've got a pretty thick profile here. So if we took trades, it would have to be on the edges here for sure. I think that this should get us moving though a little bit. Especially if they come out and we get something like you know, personal spending was up or something, personal income was up or something. That could really push us down. And you got to remember that we had a pretty good day on the 27th, Wednesday. In the overnight session, at least, they had a pretty good move up, and we could retrace some of that still and come back down to like 119, 120 essentially would probably be the target, but down here. down here to all this stuff. It looks like this news story about a shooting that everybody was getting excited about yesterday has now been completely forgotten because the shooter is Mexican. That's a little freaky that they just instantly forget about the story. This is all I read about yesterday afternoon. I was like, ooh, great. The John Kelly era is coming to an end, says Wall Street Journal. Ooh. But who would they replace him with? I'm looking at Ayers and Mulvaney, and seems on track to hold every major Oh. Several people who currently work in the administration have lobbied the president to get rid of Kelly, and many more of Trump's interlocutors outside of the White House have lobbied him to get rid of Kelly too. There's every reason to believe that Kelly's innovation upon taking over from Reince Priebus was institute a rigid gatekeeping system. Yep, and a lot of people were axed by Kelly. It seems like Kelly thought that he was going to have more control over what happens, and it's not working out that way. Alright, I'm seeing the poll now. We're looking for 0.2 on the PCE. 0.2 on the PCE and 0.4 on the spending and income. Okay, PCE was in line with expectations. 0.2 versus 0.2. Canadian GDP was 0.1 versus 0 expected. Not getting the personal income and spending numbers yet. Okay, personal spending 0.2 versus an expected 0.4. Personal income was 0.4 versus 0.4. All right, well, I mean, we did kind of get the idea that spending was a little bit low when we got those numbers earlier in the week, in the GDP. So that's not necessarily a surprise. And I don't see the futures really moving off of this. Okay, well, if it gets up to '07, I could maybe take a short. Otherwise, okay, well, we're getting this mess again at '06, huh? And pulling at '06 seems suspicious. I don't think this is an area that I want to take a trade, but it seems like that might hold. Hey guys. Yeah, this is awful action. That's awful action. I mean, if I had to try a trade, I would try the tick into tick between 6 and 5.5, but I just don't see the incentive. And since our focus right now is really trying to avoid these areas, and it is right exactly in the spot that we should not be messing with it. even though I really feel like I would want to be short, I just can't take a trade here. Can't do it. No, I don't have a really good probability in here. I could get 07. But if we come up to 06.5, 07, and I see a lure, like it pulls, this gets really strong or something, and maybe I fade that. But the way that it's going right now, I'm not so sure that that's going to happen. I think that they may just stay here, or they may just come down through it and to the other side of their profile and then come back. Yeah, and it's Friday. And profit is trying to get 05 in the bond. Well, that spot in the bond I think would be okay. Oh yeah, that'd be great if you could get it. Oh, there, that 5.5 broke. What did they have to throw out there to bust that? Hmm? Yeah. There wasn't even a big block order or anything. There was some of this in the 5-year though. It's 192. So I guess I'm busting that 192 is pretty significant for them. Well, they're hitting it pretty hard. I don't know. So one of the things is here, this 05.5 breaking, it seems significant. But there's 2143 there on the bid too. I mean, if that had been less than 500, then maybe I would be reading more into it. Okay. And that right there is exactly why we're not trading it. What else we got going on here? Let's keep the Bitcoin chart up because that's interesting. That can satiate our boredom. Well, you know what? Actually, I'm guessing that this first hour is going to be pretty bad, but when the E-mini comes out, we might see some interesting stuff. So probably still be tough action to trade, and probably should stay out of, but it might be fun to watch. Ooh, well, there was a bunch of buying there, but they ticked down. It requires that you were in the market if you want to make money. We've seen a lot of really odd action this week, and the only other time that I really remember it being quite like that was back when it got really, really thick. Like there was one of those big risk events, and then after that, it got really, really thick. And I remember at those times that the options expirations, because I was able to watch the closes on a couple of those days, were like really significant. So, yeah. So I'm wondering if that's what's happening. And they are basically stuck because of the options, and they're not going to want to trade it until next month. Got a short order for 04 and ZB. Not sure about that one now, to be honest. Big thing is your chances of getting filled there seem a little suspect. Oh, that's interesting that a couple of orders pulled at 04. It was 900, now it's 700. Okay. Well, they're definitely trading across that 5/2. It's just, I don't know. It's a balance area here. I'm not surprised that we have an I from earlier. I'm more concerned about this '07. We can get to '07. Maybe even a stop run past '07 and then maybe a short. Okay. Well, that 5/2 is holding a little bit. What? Second Lady Karen Pence is getting criticized by media for wearing a mall bought dress. Okay. Eh. Screw you, Yahoo. It's not compatible with Brave browser. That means I don't visit the website. Trump has reportedly threatened to withdraw from the World Trade Organization 100 times. Okay. Okay. Well, I think that 06 might hold for a little bit. Okay. I think if I had taken along, I'd be taking the +2 there. Based off the fact that they cleared it, bid 500 and it almost immediately sold it back. But they're going to try and hold 06/2 and I don't know if they'll get through it or not. Yeah, it went right through that 04, didn't it? Hey, there you go. Did you get filled out? Maybe got filled. There's 700. So at half, if it didn't get filled that time, then they need to trade 2,000 there for it to fill them. There. That should fill them. Oh, that definitely filled them. Yeah, it does seem like the robots have decided it's buying or sticking liquidity under the market. I just feel like that could flip on you really quickly. You know what I mean? Well, if ZB gets up there past like the '07. Oh, actually, oh, okay, that's the top of the range. They they could make a push for the high of the day in ZB. I can see that. Kind of what I would like to see though is I would like to see that buy um, scenario play out and get stuck. Like I said, ooh, 707 and a half before. Now it seems too obvious. Now it seems like that they want to push through it to maybe the '08. Yes, is gonna do its thing again. Well, not a lot sold into that 6.5, and they ticked up. And now they're doing it at '07 too. Oh, okay, they hit it that time. They're filling the buyers. Is that good or bad? Yep, there's our one. Okay, so there's the '08. Hmm. So I don't like that they had that buy there, and immediately 42 hit into '08 half, and then they sold 126 and offered 1800. So that says to me that somebody's holding it here, but that there's enough stopping this buying that they could possibly still push through the '08 half. Notice also that the liquidity in ZN is not following us up. It did in the 30-year, but it did not in the 10. Excuse me. Okay, so their ZB touched the high. But you see a level break set up here. Oh, good morning, Uzi. Well, I'm going to be real disappointed if that was it, but there is a big order there at 08.5 now. I thought about it too much. I think that the opportunity to take it there is gone now. An order pulled. The one at 05? Yeah, just a little bit. I'm still a little hesitant. I want to see it come back up and fail before I take it short. Hmm. So there's 06.5, which is kind of I would call the scene of the crime of sorts. So you might see some support show up here. Definitely seeing it in ZB. See that big old 1200 at 05? Okay. All three of them I spurred there. Tried to bust it. Didn't get it. That iceberg is really making it look like it's gonna hold. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Well, this played out close to how I thought it was going to, but when it was up there, I just didn't feel like it was dramatic enough. It wasn't quite what I wanted to see. So I missed it. But it looks like it was a good trade, and it looks like a couple of you actually did take it. Yeah, you can see them when they make a pivot, they often leave that big trail of orders behind it. Now the sleepiness is coming into me. I think it might come back a little bit because the knob is going to want to equalize, unless we're going to get like a huge flush down to the 120s still. That would certainly be interesting. Something else that could happen is we could see the iceberging at 6.5 again. Okay. That was a little curious. I need to have the mini up here because that appears to be it doesn't look like we would get filled at 06.5 now if we had put something there when I was thinking about it. There's just not a lot of liquidity coming through. I think that when the E-mini opens up, we're going to get a little bit of drama. In retrospect, that 42, because I was looking for some sort of a stop run, that must have been what they wanted to try and go short at that point, because I was just looking for too much. It was very subtle, but it did happen. The thing, though, is if you look at it, if you had gone short at 08, where would your target be, right? Or ticks down 06? And where are they having trouble pushing through? 06. Only a surprise or a tweet could wake up markets. Yes, let's have a tweet, please. What is the other piece of news? Chicago PMI. Yes, that's and then consumer sentiment. So Well, this has been the longest 45 minutes in a long time. That one thing I should note is that when we came off of that high, that we got a push down in the knob spread. Just a little breakout of the range. So I'm thinking at the moment that they're going to disappoint the guys with orders at 06. Excuse me. I think they're going to disappoint these guys at the 4. And then they're going to come up and try and wash them all out and then get a failure. There's no way. Well, not that there's no way, but I think it's extremely unlikely that they push 9.5 from here. Okay, they took them. This is a bit of a flush in the 5-year, by the way. When it ticked down there. So I don't think that the 10-year really wanted to do that. And got pulled into it. Even my bird is quiet today. Oh, that's a good point. Why are they not screaming? Well, so first of all, the kids are gone, right? I think the kids are going to be gone all next week too, because it's the 4th of July. And they're going to get them for all next week, and then the 24th in Utah, we have a second 4th of July on the 24th, and so we'll get them that week. I only need moves the way we make it. It does not matter. Okay, guys, please do not go and hack the president's Twitter to create a stock market move. That would not be a good thing to do. I don't need the Securities Exchange Commission descending upon the channel. I'm shocked Twitter made a comeback. Well, I'm shocked that Twitter, that all social media made a comeback, because Facebook just should not be where it is. And I think the trade I made, let's pull it up. I'm taking a trade unless it comes back up. I think where are you? Because my options trade that I took just did not happen. It did not happen. It was a simulated options trade, but it might have been a pivot there. It is pivoting pretty cleanly here in the 10-year. I mean, considering how slow it's been, like that move off of the 08 was pretty clean. Ever trade the Shats? The what? I've never heard of that. You messing with us? Is that like German for poop? I don't. Okay, they traded up through 6.5, and they touched 7. Treasure. So maybe he's talking about the blend. Euro Shats futures. They're on ice though. Well, there you go. That's why I've never heard of them. Yeah, ice is too expensive. So there's your Facebook. They did come down. They did come down quite a bit, but just not doing what I want. And I thought they were gonna stay below 8.5. So it was like when they recovered, they just really recovered, and I don't understand why they staying around here. But I guess I got the wrong price because it could still say short 200. I don't know. Two minutes. You're living in the future? Oh, alligator took that long, huh? I don't know, honestly, when alligator went long the first time, I didn't really see it. And now he's doing it again. And I'm not seeing it. But he was right on the last one, so. Perhaps when he saw them touch that 07, I mean, that was a little significant, and then he decided that he could still get filled at 06 halves and took it. It's like lost the whole thing. Yep. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Okay, here they go. And they are pushing higher on the first push. Getting all them bubbles. Coming down. And they came off there. There was some buy orders triggered off in the 10-year. Okay, well they came back and now they're trying to push higher again. At 27.32.25, 14.87 traded there is holding them back a little bit. I think they might bust through it here though. Oh, alright. Another try. There you go. Let's just go to sleep. Let's just go back to sleep, guys. I think that's what I should have done. And go back to sleep. So I recall that there was iceberging at 07.5, and when it ticked down, I said, well, I wonder if they iceberg into 07.2. And now we went down and we've come back up to 07 and they are iceberging there. But we're in a 3-tick range with the liquidity on both sides. So that's not a trade that we can take. And if we had gotten short off of the iceberg, we definitely would want to be getting out now. Do you think this is like before she goes, like, do you think it's going to break up? I mean, I see, well, I don't know. Hold on. A lot here depends on what the E-mini is going to do, and the E-mini could really take one either way. Okay, well that's that top side on the 8 is getting thicker, isn't it? Yeah, I see that. At 08, right? Yeah. The problem though is this thing. This is what I'm looking at. Like if you zoom in here, this pattern, this is no good. I don't want to mess with that. So, what I was going to say before that discussion came in was that a lot depends on the E-mini here, and the E-mini is kind of could go either way. If the E-mini decides to come up, then I mean you can see the correlation. It's going there right now. Then that could push us down a tick or two. So what I would rather see is the E-mini take a pretty good hit here, and it is absorbing a lot. And let's post this in here. So let's say that the sellers in the E-mini here win, and the E-mini gets pushed down. Then we're going to get a push up out of this zipper between 6 and 7. It's the zipper between 6 and 7, right? And then you get maybe the E-mini gets really crazy and you get the stop run here. Then we can go short. Now, the split side is that the E-mini keeps going up and we just slowly get ourselves pushed down. And if we get below 5, probably wouldn't even need to get through 5, but at that point, I think you might see people to the long side bailing because the cumulative delta has been slowly higher by about 10,000 contracts this morning. Yep. Keith's chart kind of backs up that short side. That one is bonds, right? Yeah, that is the 10-year. So that was not quite what we were expecting, right? So right off the bat, this is already acting a little fishy, but the E-mini pushed up there, and so they pushed it down. Yeah, so let me put another one. Well, they're heading into that 5/2 more aggressively than they should. Okay, the E-mini pushed through that initial selling resistance. And now they're sputtering out a little bit, consolidating. We'll see if they get another leg in this or if they're going to reverse down. Okay, well that 0.5 is absorbing. I'm only seeing it in the 10-year. But that it's kind of luring there at 0.5. So I think some of these guys that got short there are probably trying to take their profits. Yeah, Yoda sold into the iceberg. Global stocks hit by second largest weekly outflow ever. What was the first? Finally, Bank of America notes that its high net worth clients are rushing into liquid cash equivalent safety with T-bill holdings to a 10-year high. Oh, that's right. Alligator took a long up there, didn't he? Oh, he said flat 0.65. So does that mean that he immediately took it off? Yeah, it does not want to go. Okay. So all three of them tick down there. It ended up being 88 in the 10-year, 26 in the, but only 400 in the 30. And I'm seeing the E-mini turn around. That was a lot of selling though. I don't know if I can just fade that. They're just not getting people to hit 05. Yeah, the bid at 045 has been there for a long time. You notice though that the ones up at up above us at 08 and stuff are staying too. Need to move a few ticks down to crash this bid. Yeah, that size at 8 and 85 hasn't been chasing it down. Notice that most of those orders are just outside of the so a little 8,000 or 800 pulled off of that 045, by the way. You notice that the really big ones, like the ones over 5,000, are all outside of the value area here on my volume profile. So that's where I don't necessarily give too much heed to where those orders are, just because they're kind of just the confirmation of what we already know, right? We're range bound, stuck in the middle of a pretty thick profile. The only time that I ever really pay attention to that is when they like totally flip. Oh, that's been there. That's been there all morning. Well, they pushed through my iceberg, and okay. Here a little bit, yeah. 10 ticks down on a Friday that's been as slow as this. It seems like a pipe dream, doesn't it? So I'm noticing now that the buyers are having a hard time getting fills. There was only 45 traded at 045. There's only 21 traded there at the 50 on that last tick. Now, there was a bit more that traded there at the 50 at one point, right? They did clear it. And there was like 4,000 there. But now that they all got filled, buyers are having a hard time getting filled. That seems a little... That seems significant to me. And I also would point out here, I'm getting some bubbles in the 10-year. And when they pushed down through, what was it, 045? When they traded 045, some of the liquidity actually pulled to 04, but then it came back up when it ticked back up. And then another thing I'm noticing that I think is really weird, two things that I think is really weird right now. One is the drop. It goes 44, then 38 at 07, and then 51 at 07 half. That's a little weird that there's only 38 at 07. I guess it's a little weird that there's only 36 at 035 too. And then, but then the one that's really weird is that there's only 3,000 at the high of the day at 095. Is that because they know that if we, I mean, it was a single print there at 095, so if it gets touched at all, they're almost certain to go through it, and that's why they all have it at 10. One theory. Okay, the E-mini had another bubble here. Is that people buying it? Okay, this pull right here at 06 seems suspicious. If it get filled here. Yep. They're playing games. They're playing level 2 games here. A lot of them, in fact. Okay, let's see if the E-mini decides to try and test where that bubble was again. It's gonna be 27.35 is the spot that they're gonna look. A portable hot plate. Okay, you see that step up in the bid at 055? All of a sudden it's 26, 27, 28. This seems like awfully suspicious to me. Yep, and the 30 year is ticking up, but they're actually absorbing a lot there. The five is only has 100, and they're having a hard time clearing it. Okay, I got out there. So yay. Yeah, it's pretty rangy. If one can defeat a market like this, one can defeat any market. Want to get short at the height of the range, but it looks like there won't be a setup. Did anybody take the short? I know that a couple of you guys were long and took it off up there at 08, but did anybody actually take it short from there? Because that was a really good trade. I'm really mad that I wasn't able to really take advantage of that one. Let's give Dusty here some permissions, so we can post pictures. Well, they're absorbing at 06. It's a little sketch though, because yeah. Right? like think about it. We've had essentially one good trade today that we kind of predicted, but when it happened, it was so subtle that I missed it. Okay. And even then, getting the fill at 06 was a little bit hard, and then it came back. So like we had one trade that was worth 4 ticks today. It was really certain. Of course, there were some spots that you could get it too. Like, okay, yeah, if you got long here, 1, 2, 3, that one probably wouldn't have filled. But maybe if you had gotten long here, like right off of the open of the session. But did we really have a signal that would have told us that we were just going to go long there? I don't know if we did. And same here, you could have gotten short off of this one, but did we really know what was going to happen there? I don't think you did. So... yeah, way more tame. This is funny. If I had not gotten out, oh man, this is so hard. So I got long 05 half. I got out at 06. There was some buying there that was a little bit like when I got taken out. I think we saw a machine gun and it just kind of went do 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 do. And now here, people are trading into 06, and there's absorption. So based on that alone, I think that if I was still in, that maybe I would be thinking that I could get 06 half or even higher than that. And I definitely see a move up in the 30-year. But people just aren't buying. Okay, so absorption at 065 now as well, but you would have gotten filled. You see this? You just put it out here. And the E-mini is hmm. 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 Well, that was bullish. I don't know if I can take it now, though. Because there was the iceberg at '06. They couldn't get through it. There was an iceberg at '06 halves. They got through it. Then they attempted to sell back, push it back into '06, and the buyers immediately propped it back up. And now the 30-year is up on its highs again. Ooh, let's see. There you go. Yep, now it's over. No, it's over 1,000. I can't see it anymore. They've gone down too much. We need to come up 2 ticks so we can see if it's still there. Okay, so they're still able to tick up and hold 0.6 I don't know. This area here between 0.6 and 0.7 though, I just don't want to mess with it. It's been a focal point too many times. Okay. What was the signal that you saw there, Tucker? This is the one where I say, like, if you want to take a trade here, 0.6 is the only price you can really take. Oh, okay. Because your chances of getting filled at 0.7, like if you wanted to go short, and you go short at 0.7, if you get filled, being 28th in line, they're going to tick through you. You get in line here at 0.6 and they fill you, they might go through you. And they might even go through you for a tick and then go back into it. You just don't know. Or they go through you and they just continue on. And so it seems like an awful, awful place to... And then you can do this thing where, like, if you got filled somewhere, like you got filled down below this and you get out here, like these are good get out spots, is what I see. Alligator's long 0.7. I have to say I do find it more than a little odd that today I've been like, no, I don't want to trade this area, I don't want to trade this area, but I have seen you guys taking trades, and usually it's the opposite. Usually it's like you guys are all sitting on your hands and I'm like, I really want to take this one. And you know, I spent a lot of time, actually, let me tell you this. So somebody gave me a link to a Jigsaw webinar, like one day of it, and I was watching it, and almost the whole day he was like, yeah, I don't really like this area, like you can't really make a decision here, it's just random. And he pointed out like one trade that was like a short trade that was pretty good, and it was a spot that I might have taken. It was actually well, what were the ones that he saw? There was one that he saw where the offer pulled, and he put an order in there, but then he canceled it because they didn't hit it. And but other than that, like he didn't take any trades. So then I went back and I looked at like what I had done that day, and I'd seen, because it was one of those days where it was actually a little bit like this. It was like they sold, and it was pretty strong selling, in fact, and then it completely reversed. And I looked at it and I was trying to sell it all day, and then finally tried to buy, and I had lost on all of those. I had lost on all of those, and so I had just been chopped up in the range, and he didn't take a single trade. I was like, I really am. I mean, that really is the problem. Is when I decide to take the trade. Just killing each other. Yeah. See that in the cumulative delta? Is that big spike up and it's just flat? Oops. Now, all things considered, that long at 05 half was in an okay spot. Huh? It was funny because at the time, I said, that's like the point of control. But I recognized that they just weren't getting through that, so yay for me. But the more important thing was that I also saw that this was super range bound, and so I only took +1. Maybe I could have waited for +2, but you know, I should have waited for it to tick up because that one I was gonna it was gonna have to tick through it for me to get a fill, and I probably could have waited to see how much they bid, and then when I saw how much they bid, you know, it was enough for me to hold on to it, and then I could have said, okay, let's take those 6.5 instead, and then maybe then I should have put in the limit order. I don't know. I'm gonna have to play through that one a couple of times before I figure out what the right way to do it is. Because I'm so used to just trying to hold it for 4. It will be interesting to see if they bust this 09. They might not do it before I want to leave. I think this could continue up. It's too difficult to get real probability in this area. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so now we're getting into that liquidity, right? I think ZB really wants that 10. A couple of people gave up when it came off of it there, though. It's super thick up here, all the way up to 09.5 now. I mean, if they got through that liquidity, they would almost have to push much higher than that, as all those guys stop out. That just seems unlikely. So I think we still have to be looking for a short here at 08 or 07 half. Well, there's enough attacking 07 half. I think they may actually get through that one, and I think that ZB could potentially take out and get a new high. What I want to see is new high in ZB, stop run, take a short there. Let's check our YouTube chat. Those offers on ZB at 10 looked a little shaky when price got up there. If the price takes a bit lower to those bids at 05, I'll have to wait and see how they react before I make a flip. 08 is going to be an annoying price, conflict zone, tough day for fills. Oof, indeed. So does that mean that Uzi didn't get his tick today? I wish I could put timestamps in YouTube, so I can't see when he said that. Beaches TV, am I able to buy Bitcoin off you? Why would anybody want to buy Bitcoin off of a person like that? No, you go to GDAX. No, you don't want to buy Bitcoin. Trust me, guys. You don't want to buy it. I have a time traveling device and it says it's going lower. Well, look at that bid at 07 now. Yeah. Are you gonna take it off and see if the ZB breaks the 10 first? Oh, they observed it at 07. Okay. Okay. Too bad we didn't get filled at 07 half. You could have taken that short and maybe taken one out there at 07. Buddy. So you took it at 06 half, right? You still have it? I think I missed the trade because if I had gotten filled short at 07 half, then I would feel great. I don't think I get filled there, and I'm a little concerned about trying to mark it into 07. Now we're back into the zipper zone. That. Well, it's back to your price. Look at the mini making new highs. Apparently I don't know how to type today. So now. Oh, guys, what do we do? Well, I think you hold it, right? Or do you take it off at 06? You're short at 065, right, Tucker? Oh, did Profit get the 075? Oh, we got 09. Gotcha. Gotcha. That's a little different. At 050. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I mean, so first of all, granted it did go through 06 half. We could have gotten 07 half, but that's okay because this is the same one that I would normally take, right? Then I'd say, oh, I really think it's short at and I'm not sure if I can get filled at 07 or if it'll go through here, so I'm just going to take it in the balance area, so you're short 06 half, right? So then it's like, okay, it has to break through here. So for this trade to make sense, you would want to be taking at least 05 half. Now, could you get better than that, like 05 and 045? The problem I see with 055 is that it held that twice, and then there was one where it pushed through it and it only went for a tick. So that's still also a failure, and it came up. So if it was me, I would be saying 05 half instead. Or maybe even, frankly, 06. Like, that's just how slow it is. So let me show you one other thing. That's the difference. Bum, bum, bum. I'm also concerned that 3000 is traded at 06 and they've got 4K on it. Man, you're gonna have to watch that one again, because when it touched 075, right? That was 5,000. This was like 7,000, right? And then this jumped up to 5,000, and then they hit it and they all filled. And then I said, oh, well, I don't know if I want to take it anymore. But that was where the trade was, and I missed it. And it was worth 2 ticks. You know, 06 half is the safe place to get out at. So that was a good trade. And the other thing is the one that I took, where I took 05 to, was it, did I get 05? No, I got 05 half. That makes sense. I got 05 half. I could have gotten 4 from it. So my take on today is I was much more careful, and that was really good. And I did see some trades, And every setup that I saw was actually a good setup. I only took one of them though, so maybe it was a little too cautious. And the one that I held, I probably could have held for 2 ticks. If not the full 4, although I really think that the 2 ticks was probably the right way to do that one. So yeah. Little interesting way to end the week, right? But right now we're trying to avoid the bad trades. And that's our metric. So to have 0 bad trades today is a big achievement, I think. And another thing that I want to point out is that that when that big bid stepped up at 070, I think that that is a place where I very often thought, oh, they're going to try and push them through this liquidity. And I would say, oh, maybe we can go long at 07.5, but then they break the iceberg and get out at 07 or whatever. But that time I read it correctly as a lure. I mean, it can totally do that. I've definitely seen it where it stuffs up into an area like that and they bid 500 and then they clear 7.5 and it just takes off. But the context for it wasn't right. It's too rangy. Too much liquidity there, because even if they broke through 07.5, then they were going to have to do it at 08, and then they were going to have to do it at 08.5, and then who knows what 09 and 09.5 would be at that point, just to get to the high of the day. So the context for it to be a lure there and to get short at 07.5 was definitely there. I just didn't take it. But I'm glad that I saw it. That's an improvement. So I don't know. Any comments before I head off? What do we have tomorrow, next week? Should make some videos this weekend, I think. Hopefully I do. I might be working on sprinklers though, so almost done. I think they work. I think we pretty much got everything and they just need to be buried. Okay, so we got some PMI. Yep. There's CPI? No, but there's non-farm. Okay. When's the CPI? Is it the week after that? Oh, there it is. For PPI, July 11th. I think we got a pretty good month set up here, guys. And then August. Nope. Oh, look at this in the 30-year. That's how I read that. That's funny. You know, I've never seen. I mean, I've seen orders come down, but I've never seen an order chase it down 3 ticks like that. I really think that that's some people wanted to get filled and they're not getting it. I think this this lure that we saw at 07.5, So I think when somebody here's our when somebody bids 5,000 like that, their intention is to push price up. The question is their intention to push price up only so that they can get filled one or two ticks higher and then reverse it? Because sometimes they do that because they know that that's a spot where that's going to push through, and they get in there and they zip right through the area, right? But in this case, it was definitely intended to get filled. And I think that the guys in ZB thought that that was going to be enough to push them through, and that they were going to get their fills, and then they could go short. And then it didn't happen, and now they're chasing it. And you can see that the cumulative delta in ZN came back almost completely. So all of these people that went along from down here are already out. Oh, there could be another trade at 9 o'clock because of all this. Okay, well, yeah, I'm just blabbing. I don't know. I feel good about trading today, and I don't want to stop. Some of the other days, I was like, oh, I did so terrible, and I just want to go. But today was good, so. Thanks for all the help this week, guys. I think we made some good progress. And we'll catch you next week.